What's up, gamers? It's Gamin Thunder, and today, I'm going over my top 5 favorite series in the Pokemon anime. And yeah, you're probably wondering, where's Charizard? Shouldn't he be part of this? Well, we're right ahead of with you with that, guys. And it's because Charizard's also doing his top 5 favorite Pokemon series animes in his own video. So you're gonna get the full experience from my videos and his, and see which ones is our favorites for each one. And so, hope you guys are ready. So let's go. Now, just like the top 5 favorite animes and top 5 favorite video games, this is gonna be all my personal opinion on which ones is my favorite, and hopefully you guys think these great too. Charizard has his own separate video going on in his channel. So after you're done with this one, you can check over his channel. So let's get started to see which ones is the best. Starting off with number 5, I'm going with the most underrated series in the anime, Pokemon Origins. Where it follows our protagonists Red and Blue from Fire Red and Leaf Green, and as they journey through the Kanto region to complete the Kanto region Pokédex. And Red goes through all sorts of different hurdles and catching all different Pokemon, while dealing with his rival Blue as they compete with each other, and even take on gym battles throughout the entire series. And I find this one really unique because it was taking place to promote Fire Red and Leaf Green, and it also introduced Mega Evolution for the final episode. Plus, Red was the most interesting protagonist, not only because he was also voiced by Bryce Pattenbrook, one of my favorite voice actors of all time. He was also interesting because of how much he just felt driven, and he was the youngest champion in the Kanto region that had become the very best, and even caught Mewtwo. This was totally epic. He actually able to use Mega Evolution, he caught a Mewtwo, and he's the youngest to become a champion, even besting his rival who became champion for like 5 minutes or something. I find this to be a little bit underrated, but I absolutely loved Pokemon Origins. For number 4, I gotta go with the Advanced series. And Ash is starting over from scratch, bringing just Pikachu with him, starting all over again in his journey through a different region, meeting new friends, and going on some of the bestest adventures in the Hoenn region. And I really loved his team in there. It was pretty unique, even if a few of them were just a bit of, they could have been better. But I honestly say that this was pretty awesome to see that Ash was starting all over again, and that became a continuation for the rest of the series. And he introduced to new people, and it's also sparked on the Battle Frontier. But the following conclusion for the Advanced series, which became just absolutely thrilling and amazing. And testing challenges for Ash and bringing in some old Pokemon from his first 2 journeys. And I absolutely loved it, and I can't believe that they actually made this far. All I gotta say is Pokemon events, best battles, best scenes, all sorts of crazy stuff that happens and that it's really worth being in the top. For number 3, you gotta go with the classics, the Indigo League. This is where the journey first started for Ash and his friends. And he wanted to be the very best, like no one ever was. And the journey began now with that first starter, and a very journey just started the entire franchise and series. And this was when he was starting out and learning everything that he knows to be a Pokemon trainer, and it became history itself. But the series is an absolute classic, and some epic battles, amazing encounters with different rivals, and very much tied with growth, and even becoming the best. Even though he did fumble in the end of the series, and he grew and he was able to continue on with the next part of his journeys. For number 2, I'm going with the Pokemon Diamond and Pearl series. And I mean, this one was absolutely peak. And Ash was always in his strategy. He gained so much experience during his last 3 journeys, and he's became so productive. He became strategic, and he has one of the most greatest rivals of them all. That really pushed him to his limits, and is able to learn new strategies, and create an interesting team. And the league battle was able to bring in all sorts of his Pokemon from his journey, even though he totally got wrecked in the end. And this was definitely one of the most exciting series in the Pokemon anime. I mean, can you believe how awesome it was? I know I can. And for number 1, I gotta go with Pokemon X and Y. This was absolutely Ash's finest in the anime series. And he had the most based team and the most epic battles. His journey was set in stone on becoming the greatest ever was, with one goal: win the Kalos League. And he was absolutely pushed to everything great, which introduced that Mega Evolution and even introduced Ash Greninja himself. But this was an absolutely amazing series, and it's still my favorite Pokemon region to this day. I absolutely loved Pokemon X and Y. And it's still the greatest in the Pokemon anime that there ever was. And those are my top 5 Pokemon anime in the series. And they're pretty fair and balanced, and I absolutely love them. And in my opinion, they're some of the best in the entire Pokemon franchise, and that you should really give it a watch if you haven't. And I'd love to see which ones are your favorites, so let me know in the comments below. If you guys want to see Charizard's top 5, be sure to check out his channel and his video. There'll be a link in the description and the comments below. So until then, guys, be sure to comment, like, subscribe, join my Discord, follow my Instagram, and I'll see you guys later with more Pokemon. And this is Gamin Thunder, signing out.
Thunder, feel the thunder, lightning and the thunder, thunder.